So we're about to do the daily routine, and I am drinking some coffee. Uh, my allergic reaction to the laundry detergent is pretty much over with, so I should be able to do the martial arts workout tonight. I'm going to do the meditation on the Buddha, then the short version of the Ashtanga Yoga primary series, and then the martial arts workout. And it's a solo body weight exercise workout in the format of a high intensity interval training. Um, but we're going to see how my skin feels after I do the yoga. If I'm feeling irritated and inflamed, then I'll give it another day. But I have to listen to my body with this one because it got really bad for a minute, but the medication helped, and people sent money to help me get the medication, and that really got me through it. So I'm going to play some teachings, some short talks from the Buddhist nuns who I study their Buddhist style, and that's what I play here. That's basically what I teach through playing their teachings. And while I clean the room, we're going to listen to them. This first one is about Buddhism and activism. And I've got limited space. I'm sure you have limited space. But I clean out this room. All the stuff behind me is going out. I sweep and mop the floor. Then I meditate, do yoga and martial arts. And I invite you to join me. So we're going to start that now. If you don't have space, like I don't have space, then clean out a small corner of a room like I do here. And make do with what you have so you're not making any excuses. Just practice every day, no excuses. I'm about to clean out this room, and we will practice together.
So I want to say a few words about the Buddha, Dharma, and activism. What I like to say is that we wouldn't know anything about Buddhism had not the Buddha been an activist. So from the moment he decided to stand up and to go and teach the Dharma, he was taking a very active stance. I would just sit under that tree, or that 6th tree, or that 7th tree, after the Bodhi tree, a week under each of 7 trees, 49 days. Could have just remained there, blissed out. We chose not to. The Buddha said, there's suffering and there's the end of suffering. Oh, when he was 80. I've taught only 2 things in my life, suffering and the end of suffering. But he also enjoined his monks and nuns to go forth and to teach as well. So he was never, if you look at his life, never just quietness, he never just, this is blissful, this is groovy, this is cool. It was always something to help others. So I say from the moment he stood up, Buddhism was active. And the Buddha was like this until the end of his life, because at the end of his life, what does he say? Go forth, O monks. Surely we know there were nuns there. And teach the Dharma, that is good in the beginning, good in the middle, good in the end, for the welfare of the many. So I think now, add to that the fact that the Buddha also opened to Sangha in a time when it was very much not done. He allowed women to go forth. People of all castes, all 4 castes, and women. It was quite a radical institution for 6th century BC. Very radical indeed. So some people want to see Dharma on one side and activism on the other. But I can't do that. It seems to me they always came together, and it certainly seems to me that they ought to come together. Are we ready to get to this point yet? You have to tell me. Okay. So, to tell you just a little about myself, I come from Birmingham, Alabama. I grew up where there were drinking fountains marked white and drinking fountains marked colored. And though I entered school in 1954, Brown v. Board of Education, which outlawed separate but equal, because separate is never equal. 11 years later when I graduated, segregation is still a fact in Alabama. And the Supreme Court of Alabama had gone through all sorts of maneuvers to make sure that integration did not become a fact, even though it was the law of the land. So while things were rough, kind of bad, we had secondhand things in school. I didn't know that public school meant that you got your supplies free. We didn't know that. My parents stood in lines that went around the block, so that they could buy secondhand books, so that we, my sister and I, could study. Okay, but while there was that, there was also good things, like great black teachers, and dual education that taught us not only American history, but African American history, not only English lit, but African American lit. And people I meet today who are African Americans, we recited a poem exactly the same way with the same gestures. It was so uniform, this dual education. And the best thing I want to mention is that when I was 15, a 10th grader, I marched with King. It was 1960. And many of the things I later learned in Buddhism, I had heard from Martin Luther King. And interdependence, compassion, these are truths that spur action. Like Thich Nhat Hanh says, once you see it, you have to act. This was part of my upbringing. This was how Buddhism settled in for me. This was how Buddhism was so, oh wow, yeah, I recognize that. Finally, the thing is that Buddhism and activism go hand in hand. And I see the example of that from the time I read the Buddha's teachings and watch the Buddha's life. It seems to be evident to me that the two go together.
Setting the historical context, Dr. Willis, of how you grew with segregation, how did you not become pissed off enough to not find that deep spiritual journey, that it was just, how did you manage to respond to your life rather than react to your life?
I was fortunate. I think Lama's blessings even before I knew Lama's, I think. I was apparently smart. School was a sort of refuge for me. Smarter than the teachers. White superintendents would visit schools, and they would have us stand and answer something they asked. I heard a superintendent, I watched as my teacher in, I don't know, 5th grade, 6th grade, pleaded with me to answer the white superintendent's question. And I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to lose friends. Peer pressure. Didn't want to be, teacher's pet. But finally I stood and I answered the question, and then, this is the pain that a black child experiences, the superintendent went into the principal and said, "Principal, I see you got a smart one in there." It was as though he was saying a smart chicken. But school was important. And the King March, that was important. That was exhilarating. Right? And I went to school, and it was, I think one of my long-standing questions, or deep questions, has been, how do human beings maintain humility on the one hand, but integrity and a sense of pride, good sense of pride on the other? I didn't want to be angry. I wanted to feel okay with who I was. I got scholarships. There was a cross burning because I was going north to school, not only to Ivy League school. Cross burning, It was not good to become conspicuous in the South that I grew up in. Mining camp where Klan leader lived. So I got these scholarships. There was a cross burning. And I rode the bus to school to Ithaca, New York. Took a day and a half. Couldn't eat at the restaurants we passed until we got to Scranton, Pennsylvania. Then, but once I was there at Cornell, I made friends. The friends were political. friends from Silas in Long Island who wanted to know, how is it? How is that segregation? How is that Jim Crow? How is it? And I was shy, I don't know you, that well, like, but one of those people is my dear friend, has remained friends from first year. Anyway, I started reading, as I always did. That was a refuge, and the Vietnam War was happening. And so my friends were protesting the war. We had hunger strikes at Cornell. Oh, trying to pick out parts of the story that might get to this point. So I read about, I was a philosophy, I went as a physics major, and I was a philosophy major. Then I read books on Buddhism, and because the Vietnam War was going on, when I discovered that most Vietnamese, some were Catholic, but most were Buddhist, then I started reading Buddhist texts. That resonated with me. And I said, these people are experiencing every day, napalm, they're experiencing cruelty and some of the things I know about. And so I wanted to see how it is that they coped. Mm-hmm. And I started reading the Buddhism. In those days, it was Alan Watts and E.T. Suzuki, and I read everything I could get my hands on. And I determined that one day I was going to go to the far reaches of Japan and meditate. All in black and austere, and I was just going to meditate. And I got a chance to go. My junior year was the second year of the college year in India, the Wisconsin program, Wisconsin University went in. I went on that program after some cajoling. Then I was in Benares, because I was a philosophy major. They sent us to Benares. Social scientists went to Delhi. So there I was in, it's like that, see? But it's true. So there I was in Benares in a class of 7 Thai monks and the professor. But the professor liked Wittgenstein, what I was majoring in, analytic philosophy. So we had good talks. But the Thai monks, they would just stand and they would say, Jan, we think you would like this book, and then drop it, and step back. Thai monks, right? But Benares is 7 kilometers outside of Sarnath. And once I found that out, I'd go to Sarnath, and that's where I met Tibet. So meeting Tibetans my junior year transformed everything. Because these were joyous people who had just suffered an historical trauma. I said, they can relate with me, and I can relate with them. And I like what they have. And they said, come on in. Hugged me up, and the next year I met Lama Yeshe. And so I think maybe Lama Yeshe had been reeling me in the whole time. I don't know. But it sure feels good. Long-winded little story, but...
So, that was just a little talk from a lady about Buddhism and activism. And we're going to do the meditation on the Buddha led by the same group of ladies now. Over here I've got my pre-workout, some vitamin C powder in there, and this is just some coffee. So, if you need some coffee or tea or any kind of caffeine drink to get yourself ready, then get that. Get some pillows for your rear, 2 or 3 pillows so your hips are above your knees. I like to have one pillow for my legs and then this towel over my legs to keep the joints warm, because we'll be doing the yoga after this. And again, if you haven't practiced with me before, I'm going to play this Tibetan Buddhist meditation on the Buddha led by the nuns at the Shravasti Abbey in Washington State, who we were just listening to. And it's a very traditional meditation. There's a lot of use of the imagination. You're actively imagining the Buddha sitting here in front of you, along with other Buddhas and spiritual teachers, whoever you like that inspires you. You're using your imagination to make them offerings. You're repeating mantras in Sanskrit and Tibetan. So I found that this stuff is really good for mental health. I was just talking to my partner last night about how everybody has the seeds of mental health disorders in them. If you're in the wrong or the right circumstances, it can bring them out. But if you have a practice, a good daily practice, a good daily routine of any kind of tradition will directly offset and reverse any kind of trauma that you have experienced by giving you a root identity and the ability to let go of your identity when necessary as an exercise, so that you can overcome anything. I've dealt with trauma from violence, I've dealt with abuse, I've dealt with homelessness, with war, PTSD, killing, and people trying to kill me in combat. I've been knocked unconscious by rocket-propelled grenades. I've seen all kinds of horrible things happen on the front lines. And while I was homeless, and I've also been a political prisoner. I was a political prisoner in federal prison for 2.5 years, and I saw all kinds of terrible things. But thanks to meditation, yoga, and martial arts, I was able to defend myself. I was able to stop attacks on my body and my mind, because people will try to sleep deprive you, they will try to hustle you, scam you, do all kinds of crazy con artist things. But having this kind of practice will give you the tools to have wisdom, to protect yourself, and compassion to protect yourself and others. And it will protect your mind and your sanity, while also allowing you to let go of your ego. So if you identify strongly with your ego and you experience some really bad trauma, that ego breaks and your mind breaks. But if you don't identify with the ego, if you identify as a consciousness that comes from a universal consciousness that is rooted in oneness, and you're a branch of that oneness, then when your ego gets attacked or broken, you will keep your sanity while letting go of your ego, and you can actually turn a traumatic experience into a profound spiritual experience and even enlightenment if you are diligent, right? So on that note, we will begin the practice. And if you don't like this style, then just sit silently and focus on your breath for the next 40 minutes and empty your mind and stop all desire. So those things: your breath, empty mind, not desiring, and just resting in void. But if you can deal with the style, stick with this meditation.
We do the practices with this aspiration to be a benefit to beings, not to harm them, to benefit them. And in our understanding, the best benefit is to actually for beings to be liberated from cyclic existence, and we aim to become Buddhas in order to help beings to be free in this way. So generate those thoughts in your own way. So now Chogi has laid out the sadhana for us, helping us to generate these various mind states. And she starts by having us think about all of our potential, all the kind of positive qualities that we can develop. infinite love, compassion, wisdom, skillful means. So imagine what it would feel like to be those qualities. Just let yourself be love, be wisdom. Try to feel the expansiveness and peace in your heart. The wisdom that it takes to have this kind heart. To be unencumbered in any way. Vast and expansive. Take in everything that's happening in this world, reaching out to every being, human and otherwise, to benefit each one. So now imagine that these qualities of love, compassion, wisdom, skillful means appear in front of you in the form of Shakyamuni Buddha. So imagine this Buddha in front of you, in the space in front of you made of radiant, transparent light. He's sitting on a throne, above which is an open lotus flower and cushions of the sun and lotus. This entire visualization is made of radiant, transparent light, but you're imagining a living being with a light body. So you feel yourself in the presence of the Buddha. But Buddha's body is golden in color. He wears the robes of a monastic. His right hand, with the palm down, rests on his right knee. The earth touching mudra. And his left hand is in his lap holding a bowl of nectar. And this nectar is the medicine to cure our afflictions and all of our hindrances. And the Buddha's face is very beautiful. You can look at the Buddha's eyes. He's smiling, his eyes are smiling. He's looking at you with total acceptance. And as he looks at you, he's also encompassing all sentient beings. The Buddha's eyes are very peaceful, long and narrow. His lips are red and his earlobes are long. Imagine rays of light radiating from every pore of the Buddha's body. This golden light going out to all the parts of the universe, touching beings, carrying miniature Buddhas to help beings. And as they complete their work, they dissolve back into the Buddha. The Buddha is surrounded by the entire lineage of spiritual teachers, all the meditational deities, innumerable other Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Arhats, Dakas, Dakinis, Dharma protectors. And at the side, near each spiritual mentor, is an elegant table, and on it are Dharma books. The sounds of the Dharma fill the air. And they're all so happy that we're here doing this together. Imagine their minds just blissful and peaceful, gazing at all sentient beings. So you imagine that actually you were surrounded by all sentient beings in human form. Your mother of this life is on your left. Your father of this life is on your right. Any people you have difficulty with, you imagine in front of you, facing the Buddha, keeping them there for protection. Family and friends are nearby, countless strangers fill the space around you. And all of us are looking to the Buddha for guidance. So first we need to cultivate a sense of refuge. So we think of all the dangers of cyclic existence. Just think about how things are not secure. We run into dissatisfaction, often dukkha, often. And people, all the beings around us, all the sentient beings around us, are also in the same boat, floundering in cyclic existence. And many of them have not met any kind of teachings that will help them out of this quagmire. So we generate compassion. And now think of the wonderful qualities of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and generate this sense of confidence in them, in their ability to guide you out of all of these recurring problems. To take refuge, we need to cause this kind of concern, this kind of alarm, fear type, and also this confidence and faith, and the compassion. So it is possible, on the basis of your present life and mind, to free yourself from all of these undesirable experiences. So resolve to explore that possibility to the fullest. Feel great trust and confidence in the three jewels, and open your heart to rely upon them to guide you and others from all of these difficulties of cyclic existence, and bring us to the peace, liberation, and full awakening. So as we do these refuge verses, starting here, now we're on the top of page 21, we'll be taking refuge in the Buddha, and we imagine actually leading all of the sentient beings around us and going for refuge. And we visualize white, radiant light flowing from all of the Buddhas, the spiritual mentors, the Bodhisattvas, all of these holy beings flowing into us and all the beings around us. And this light completely purifies all of our destructive karmic imprints and afflictions. And it also brings all the realizations of the path. So put your hands in prayer position. Namo Guru Vya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Guruvya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Guruvya, Namo Namo Dharmaya. Nama Sangaya. Namo Gurubhya. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Dharmaya. Nama Sangaya. Namo Gurubhya. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Dharmaya. Nama Sangaya. So feel that you've come under the protection of the three jewels. And now we turn our thoughts to others and think about how much we depend on other beings for everything that we have, everything we know, everything we use, everything we enjoy. Our food, clothing, resources of every kind. These come due to the efforts of others. Our knowledge, talents, good qualities, these too are developed due to the kindness of others. And our ability to practice the Dharma certainly depends on others who brought the teachings to us over the millennia by generating realizations in their mind and teaching. So this is a very great kindness, all of these things we want to bring to mind. Our innermost wish is to be free from suffering. And this is the case for everyone else as well. We want to be happy. All beings want to be happy. And like us, they encounter many difficulties, problems, sufferings. And usually, actually, their difficulties are more so than our own. Not always, but often. And when we examine our capacity to help beings, we find that we're actually quite limited. And we know from our practice that if we can reduce our anger, our attachment, our ignorance, our various faults, and if we can increase all of our good qualities, we're really going to be in a position to benefit beings. Imagine if we had just this generous heart that gives so easily, takes delight in giving, the kind of ethics that doesn't harm, has that just ingrained fortitude, loving kindness, compassion, wisdom. We'll be in excellent position to help beings by having our good qualities developed. And if we develop them fully, like Buddha does, then we'll be able to be of the greatest benefit to beings. So we generate this altruistic intention in order to be able to benefit beings most effectively. So as we take refuge and generate bodhicitta, imagine that light is flowing into you from all of these Buddhas and holy beings, and it's flowing into you and all the sentient beings around you. So we're on the pocket topic, page 22. I take refuge until I have awakened in the Buddhas, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By the merit I create by engaging in generosity and the other far-reaching practices, may I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I have awakened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By the merit I create by engaging in generosity and the other far-reaching practices, may I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I have awakened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By the merit I create by engaging in generosity and the other far-reaching practices, may I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings. So imagine the Buddha is so pleased with your altruistic intention. And a replica emerges from the Buddha, comes to the crown of your head, melts into golden light, flows into you. Feel that you and the Buddha have become inseparable. Feel very close to the Buddha and allow your mind to be transformed and inspired. Let go of all conceptions you have about yourself. Let go of any self-denigrating thoughts. Let go of the concept of inherent existence and meditate on emptiness. As your heart appears a small Buddha, reed of light, he radiates the light of wisdom and compassion in all directions throughout the entire universe. And this light transforms all sentient beings into Buddhas in all environments into pure lands, which are places where all the circumstances are conducive to practicing the Dharma and generating realizations. So imagine this. You've transformed all sentient beings into Buddhas and all environments into pure lands. In your imagination, oh, why hasn't this become a reality? We sentient beings have bias, prejudice, we lack love, compassion, and joy. So now we want to wish ourselves and others to have all of these qualities. So we contemplate the four immeasurables. We do this to reinforce our own felt experience of love, compassion, joy, and equanimity for everyone. Friends, strangers, enemies, relatives, people you don't like, people you don't trust, anyone, everyone. So as we say those four immeasurables, you want to listen to yourself say the words and contemplate as you recite. We'll pause between each of the four. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free of suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings not be separated from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient bias, attachment, and anger. So, in order to achieve what we've just been aspiring towards, we need to purify our activities, and we need a lot of merit. We need to abandon things and adopt things. So when we do this 7-line prayer, this encompasses all this abandoning and adopting things. So we'll pause after each line. And you want to leave your hands in the prayer position for this. Reverently I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind. So imagine yourself and all the beings, the sentient beings around you, making prostrations to all the holy beings in front of you in the field of merit, repeatedly prostrating. And present clouds of every type of offering, actual and mentally transformed. So imagine offering everything beautiful to the Buddha and all the holy beings. You can fill the sky with offerings. Make it very lovely and beautiful. You can think of flowers and fields and just everything that you love. Offer to all the holy beings. You can do this repeatedly. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginning this time. So now you take a glance meditation of the 4 permanent powers. So for this, bring to mind something that you wish to purify, some fault or mistake. Bring it clearly to mind and generate regret for that. And then the other permanent powers are taking refuge in generating bodhicitta, which we're doing in the practice. The practice itself will be the remedial action, but make a determination not to do this action again. And rejoice in the virtues of all holy and ordinary beings. So think of common sentient beings like ourselves, the holy beings, and delight and rejoice in all of the virtue created by any kind of being. Let go of any jealousy, envy, and just rejoice in the goodness of the world. Use your own life experience. Think of things, people that you want to rejoice. And then the next verse. Please remain until cyclic existence ends. So now we offer a double dorje. This symbolizes long life. We offer this to the holy beings. We do this requesting them to live long, to always be a part of our life. And you can do this multiple times in your imagination. And then the next verse. And turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. So again, make this offering. You're offering with both hands this beautiful 1,000-spoke Dharma wheel, golden in color. Offering this to the teachers and the Buddhas to guide you and to continue to teach the Dharma. And then the seventh one. I dedicate all the virtues of myself and others to the Great Awakening. So now we steer these limbs toward full awakening. of ourself and all beings. Now we'll offer the mandala. Here we imagine everything beautiful in the universe, offering it to all the holy beings with the wish that they will continue to teach and guide us and that we can generate realizations in our mind. This ground anointed with perfume, flowers strewn, mount may room for land, sun, and moon. Imagined as a Buddha land and offered to you, may all beings enjoy this pure land. The objects of attachment, aversion, and ignorance, friends, enemies, and strangers, my body, wealth, and enjoyments, I offer these without any sense of loss. Please accept them with pleasure and inspire me and others to be free from the three poisonous attitudes. Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kamniryatayami. So imagine all the holy beings just delighted and they receive your offerings. And the offerings melt into light and dissolve into them, and these all absorb into the Buddha's heart. And then immediately he radiates light back to you, filling your body and mind. And this light inspires you to accomplish the path to full awakening. So in order to progress along the path, we need to develop realizations. And in order to do this, we need the inspiration of the lineage of spiritual mentors, especially your principal teacher or your root guru, who is the one who has touched your heart deeply. If you don't have a specific teacher, just think about Shakyamuni Buddha. Maybe you have a connection in your mind with his holiness. And we make this request, page 25. Glorious and precious root guru, sit upon the lotus and moon seat on my crown, guiding me with your great kindness. Bestow upon me the attainments of your body, speech, and mind. And so then, at this point, you imagine that a replica of your teacher in the aspect of the Buddha emerges from the Buddha in front of you. And it comes to sit on a lotus and moon disc on the crown of your head, facing the same direction as you. So then this Buddha on the crown of your head is going to act as an advocate for you to request inspiration from the entire field of merit as we continue with the request. And we're doing the long one on page 26. Buddha, unequal teacher and guide, venerable protector, Maitreya, successor, superior Sangha prophesied by Buddha, to you three Buddhas and Bodhisattvas I make request. Buddha, head of the Shakya clan, the foremost guide, peerless in expounding emptiness, Manjushri, embodiment of the Buddha's complete wisdom, exalted Nagarjuna, best of the superiors who sees profound meaning, to you three crowning jewels of clear exposition I make request. A teacher, upholder of this great vehicle, who sees the profundity of dependent arising, Drone Rinpoche, elucidator of this good path. To these two ornaments of the world I make request. Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of objectless compassion. Manjushri, masteress, flawless wisdom. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the snowy land sages. Losangrappa, I make request at your feet. Holder of the white lotus, embodiment of all the conqueror's compassion. Guide benefiting migrating beings in the land of snow mountains and beyond. Sole deity and refuge, Tenzin Gyatso, at your feet I make request. The eyes through whom the vast scriptures are seen. Supreme doors for the fortunate who would cross over to spiritual freedom. Illuminators whose wise means vibrate with compassion. To the entire line of spiritual mentors I make request. so imagine all of the figures in the field of merit melting into light and dissolving into you. Into the central figure of the Buddha in front of you. All the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, the Arhats, Dakinis, Dakinis, Dharma protectors, all of these beings melt into light and dissolve into the central figure of Shakyamuni Buddha. And now Shakyamuni Buddha embodies the three jewels. And this Buddha absorbs into the Buddha on the crown of your head. And then as we recite the Buddha's mantra, try to let your mind be very open and receptive. Imagine this white light flowing into you from the Buddha on the crown of your head. It purifies all your negativities, all your obscurations, and it generates within you the realizations of the stages of the path. So we recite the Buddha's mantra together. Tayata Om Mune Mune Maha Mune Soha. 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 establish the visualization of Shakyamuni Buddha above the crown of your head, made of golden, transparent, radiant light, a living being. And this Buddha melts into light and dissolves into you. Your body, speech, and mind become inseparable for those of the Buddha. And then we'll make the dedication prayers, starting on the page that we're on in the sadhana, which is 27. Due to this merit may we soon attain the awakened state of Guru Buddha, that we may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their suffering. May the precious Bodhi mind, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore.
So this has been the Tibetan Buddhist meditation on the Buddha, led by the nuns of Shravasti Abbey. Next we're going to get into the Ashtanga Yoga primary series. We're going to do the short version, and I'll just lead that silently while I do my practice, and I invite you and challenge you to follow along and do your own version of each posture that you can't do exactly like I do it, or if you know a deeper version of these postures, then I encourage you to do that. And this will only be like the 30-minute version of this practice. Whereas normally it goes an hour and a half, but I'm keeping it short so that I also have time to do my martial arts workout and solo routine, and then get back to work. So I'm going to put some motivational philosophy music on. While we're doing the yoga. And it's mostly Alan Watts remixed to music. There we go. Oops.
And so that is a nice little chant. If I put this in the language of Oriental philosophy and religion, it would be something like this. The Buddha said that wisdom must come only from the abandonment of selfish craving or desire. The Buddha said that wisdom must come only from the abandonment of selfish craving or desire. One who abandons that desire attains nirvana, which is supreme peace, liberation. Nirvana means in Sanskrit, blow out. That is, exhale the breath. Exhale the breath. The opposite, desire, is to breathe in. Now if you breathe in and hold it, you lose your breath.
So I'm going to open the Ashtanga Yoga practice with the opening mantra. And the opening mantra of the Ashtanga Yoga practice basically means thank you to the teachers of the past, present, and future who bring this practice to us from the meditators in the jungle, because this practice eases the suffering of existence. And there will be a mantra at the end. And we're just going to do the postures in the order that they are prescribed without all of the extra sun salutations. Om Vande Gurunam Charanardavinde Sandar Sheta Svatma Sukhava Bodhe Nirshese Jangali Kayamane Samsara Lala Mohashantiye Abahu Purushakaram Shankasakrasi Dharinam Sahasra Shirasam Shwetam Pranamami Patanjalim Om. And we will begin. I don't like this playlist. I'm going to put on my own. There we go. Now we'll begin.
It was dark, and I just got in my bed, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I'm either gonna get out of this, or I try. And I walked over to my journal, grabbed my pen, and I wrote. I knew I could make a front of myself to get out of this. I didn't know what. And I just sat down and wrote, and it was freehand. I vow to love myself. 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 Where that came from, I had no idea. I still don't. It was a pure primal vow. It came from like a deep place of literally I was trying to save myself. But I realized that what I'd done, I was like, okay, I don't know how to do that. I gotta figure it out because I made a commitment to myself. And a vow to yourself is a sacred act. You do that, you keep it, that life will change. And I had to figure out how to do it. And I knew I had to work my internal self. It wasn't about taking bubble baths. It's an internal thing, it's a mindset, it's a belief, it's a rock solid belief where your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions rise from. If they rise from there, then your life rises from there. I vow to love myself. I vow to love myself. I vow to love myself. you peel an onion and you don't really understand the nature of an onion, you might look for the pit in the center, like any ordinary fruit has. But the onion doesn't have a center. It's all skins. So when you get right down, there's nothing but a bunch of skins. You say, well, that was a disappointing. But of course, you have to understand that the skins are the part that you eat. Well, in rather the same way, you find when you explore yourself, your motivation, you go through and through and you try to find out that thing which really is genuine. That thing which really is genuine. Well, in rather the same way, you find when you explore yourself, your motivation, you go through and through and you try to find out that thing which really is genuine. That thing which really is genuine. That's the way in Zen. Discipline. They give you koans, which require a perfectly genuine act. An act of total and absolute sincerity. And people knock themselves out trying to do this thing. But they always know that the master's going to catch them. Because he reads their thought. You know that story of von Kleist about the man who had a fight with a bear, and the bear would read his thoughts? So that the only way of hitting the bear was to do so not on purpose. Because the bear would know in advance. So it's the same in working with a Zen master. You have to do the genuine act, not on purpose. But since you're put in a situation where it's rather formal, and you're supposed to do it on purpose, you're stuck, see? So you explore the onion, and you go in, and then you find, well, it's all a deception. Well, in rather the same way, you find when you explore yourself, your motivation, you go through and you try to find out that thing which really is genuine. That thing which really is genuine. Well, in rather the same way, you find when you explore yourself, your motivation, you go through and you try to find out tribute to my Uncle Alex, my brother, kid brother, who was a graduate of Harvard and a wise man, just an insurance salesman in Indianapolis. He was childless. But what Uncle Alex found objectionable about so many human beings is that they so seldom noticed it when they were happy. And so we would be sitting under an apple tree, for instance, on a July afternoon, drinking lemonade and, talking about this and that, and practically buzzing on honeybees. And Uncle Alex would stop everything and say everything. choices in life, I find it is a spiritualization of this idea. Okay? When the first cities appeared in Mesopotamia about 3000 BC, large communities grow up based on agriculture. Planting has to take place a certain time, reaping a certain time, and there are professional priests watching the heaven to know when those times were, when those times came. And those men became aware of the movement of the planets through the fixed stars. And they calculated and recognized that these planets were moving in mathematically inevitable courses. And the idea came into being. And became aware of the movement of the planets through the fixed stars, of cosmic order.
So that was the short version of the Ashtanga Yoga primary series. And I'll close with the closing mantra now, which basically means blessings or good luck to the rulers who lead with compassion and wisdom. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. Peace, peace, perfect peace. Om Swasti Prajabhyah Palipalayamtam Nayena Margena Mahimahisha Go Ramanebhyah Palipala Shubhamatsyu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And if you're looking for a mantra to have some psychological, emotional, spiritual armor, something that you can repeat to yourself or out loud whenever you're experiencing a crisis or just as a daily practice, the best way to do a mantra is to repeat it constantly in your mind or under your breath whenever you have a moment alone, in your heart, in your mind all the time. And in that way you bring your focus back to your highest ideal, whatever your life's goal is. You have a mantra that reflects that, and you're constantly realigning your thought process, emotions, and body into this goal, and telling yourself, you know, why am I wasting my time doing this or that meaningless activity when I could be focused on my life's task and mastering that and the skills related to that. So that closing mantra has a portion that means may all beings everywhere be happy and free, or may all worlds be happy and free. And that is Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. And if you had, for example, a little bag with some meditation beads, right? Or just the beads, or even just a little wrist bracelet of beads, and you would repeat Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. And you can increase or decrease the pace, but keeping a good rhythm. You know, I recommend at least 108 times when you're doing a round. Like earlier, my current mantra is Tayata Om Muni Muni Maha Muni Eso, and that's part of that Tibetan Buddhist meditation on the Buddha that we did. So now, moving on, we're going to do the body weight workout, which is a martial arts workout in the format of high intensity interval training. So I'll show you what that's like on paper. Right here I have my notes, which I refer to. I have a notebook and I will write out my workouts every few weeks and I'll stick to them. This is the most important exercises over the next 2 months, January and February. So HIIT, right? High intensity interval training. There's a full body exercise, then legs, then upper body, then core, over and over again, for at least 32 minutes. And each section is done 30 to 60 seconds, right? So 30 to 60 seconds full body, then legs, then upper body, then core. And if you want to take a screenshot of this, the techniques that I'm focused on for grappling self-defense are the guillotine stranglehold, the single leg takedown, the heel hook leg lock, and what do we have here? The Kimura shoulder lock, right? And then at the bottom, I put an emphasis on things I'm studying: pins and escapes, neon belly position, side control, the full mount, the back mount, guard, and half guard, which are different positions and pins in jiu-jitsu, judo, wrestling, sambo, grappling in general. And then this is a more general mixed martial arts workout routine that I'm going to be following tonight with an emphasis on standing techniques. right? So again, there's full body, legs, upper body, core. And then I have boxing combos down here that I'm working on. And an example of this without the martial arts that I'll be doing in between every round is we do a full body burpee, squats, push-ups, sit-ups, right, for example. And that's the, you know, kind of exercises we'll be doing. And then we might do some kickboxing and then just kicks and then just boxing and then head movement or high knees that works the core. So I will shut up. I'm gonna put on some music, put away this yoga mat. I might get a timer and we'll get started here in just a few minutes. Oops, turned it off. This is more intense workout music.
People want to know how to stop the laziness. They want to know how to stop the procrastination. They have some idea in their head, you know, some kind of a vision of what they want to do, but they don't know where to start. And so they say, hey, where do I start? And when's the best time to start? Where do I start? And when's the best time to start? Where do I start? And when's the best time to start? And I have a very simple answer for that. Here. And now. That's it. You want to improve? You want to get better? You want to get on a workout program or a clean diet? You want to start a
Okay,
business?
we're starting now.
Write a book or make a movie or build a house or a computer or put together some mobile application. Where do you start? You start right here. And when do you start? You start right now. Right now. Right now.
Okay,
You initiate
next we're gonna do
action
lunges.
aggressively. You want to improve? You want to get better? You want to get on a workout program or a clean diet? You want to start a business? You want to write a book or make a movie or build a house or a computer or put together some mobile application? Idea isn't going to execute itself. And the book isn't going to write itself. And the weights out in the gym, they're not
Any
going to
kind of
move
push-up.
themselves. You have to do it. And you have to do it now. And that means you got to stop thinking about it and stop dreaming about it and stop researching every aspect of it and reading all about it and debating the pros and cons of it. Just start doing it. You want to improve? You want to get better? You want to get on a workout program or a clean diet? You want to start a business? You want to write a book or make a movie or build a house or a computer or put together some mobile application? You want to improve? You want to get better? Go. You want to improve? You want to get better? Take that first step and make it happen. Get after it. Get after it here and now.
I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will
Cross, jab,
face my
cross,
fear.
block, kick.
I won't permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. will be nothing. Only I will remain. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me.
Kicks.
And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? Pain. Pain. What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? Pain. Pain. What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
Boxing.
Pain. Pain. What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? Pain. Pain. You've heard of animals chewing off a leg to escape a trap? That's an animal kind of trick. A human would remain in the trap, endure the pain, feigning death that he might kill the trapper and remove a threat to his kind. Why are you doing this? Why are you
Head
doing
movement.
this? To determine if you're human. Be silent. It burns. Silence. His world emptied of everything except the hand immersed in agony. He thought he could feel skin curling black on that agonized hand, the flesh crisping and dropping away until only charred bones remained. What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? Pain. Pain. What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? Pain. Pain. What's in the box?
Full body burpee.
What's in the box? What's in the box? Pain. Pain. What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? Pain. Pain. It stopped, as though a switch had been turned off. The pain stopped. Enough. Take your hand from the box, young human, and look at it.
We're gonna
He jerked
lunge
his hand from
and
the
hook.
box, stared at it
And
astonished.
squat and hook.
Not a mark. No sign of agony on the flesh. He held up the hand, turned it, flexed the fingers. Pain, she sniffed. A human can override any nerve in the body. Ever sift sand through a screen? We Bene Gesserit sift people to find the humans. Paul felt that he had been infected with terrible purpose. He did not know yet what the terrible purpose was.
Upper body. Push-ups.
Why do you test for humans? To set you free. To set you free. Free? Once, men turned their thinking over to machines in the hopes that this would set them free. That only permitted other men with machines to enslave them.
Footer kicks.
Thou shalt not make a machine the likeness of a human mind. Jabbar. I hold at your neck the Gom Jabbar.
Cross jab, cross, block, cross kick.
Deep in the human unconscious is a pervasive need for a logical universe that makes sense. Sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. But the real universe is always one step beyond logic. One step beyond logic. One step beyond logic. There is in all things a pattern that is part of our universe.
Lunge and uppercut.
It has symmetry,
Squat and
elegance, and grace. Those qualities you find always in that which the true artist captures. That which the true artist captures. You can find it in the turning of the seasons. That which the true artist captures. In the way sand traits along a ridge. In the branch clusters of the creosote bush. Or the pattern of its leaves. We try to copy these patterns in our lives, in our society. Seeking the rhythms, the dances, the forms that
Boxing.
comfort. There is in all things a pattern that is part of our universe. It has symmetry, elegance, and grace. Those qualities you find always in that which the true artist captures. That which the true artist captures. You can find it in the turning of the seasons. That which the true artist captures. Yet, it is impossible to see peril in the finding of ultimate perfection. Ultimate perfection. Ultimate perfection. Peril in the finding. It is clear that the ultimate pattern contains its own fixity.
We're gonna do high
In
knees.
such perfection, all things move towards death. There is in all things a pattern that is part of our universe. It has symmetry, elegance, and grace. Those qualities you find always in that which the true artist captures. That which the true artist captures. You can find it in the turning of the seasons. That which the true artist captures. The world is supported by four things. The learning of the wise, the justice of the great, the prayers of the righteous, and the valor of the brave. But all of these things are as nothing without a ruler who knows the art of ruling. Make that the science of your tradition. All life is in the service of love.
For legs, we're gonna do footwork.
He's got clout.
But no, it's like commitment, man. It's like life is hard, right?
Like, yeah, you might get hurt. It's like, you know, your heart might get broken. You know? It's like you might lose your job. But you still gotta commit. You at you when you hesitate. Don't hesitate. Go. Commit. You gotta commit. You know, commit. You gotta commit. You know, commit. You gotta commit. You know, commit. Don't hesitate. Go. Commit. You gotta commit. You know, don't hesitate. Go.
What are we doing for core?
Commit. You gotta commit.
We're gonna do head movement again.
Don't hesitate. Go. Commit. You gotta commit. You know, don't hesitate. Go. Commit. You gotta commit. You know, you might get hurt. You might lose something. But it's like you can't experience the joy that is intended for you in life if you don't go. You gotta go, man. Don't hesitate. Go. Commit. You gotta commit. You know, don't hesitate. Go. Commit. You gotta commit. You know.
Your full body, we're gonna put those together.
How do I deal with setbacks, failures, delays, defeat, or other
Legs.
disasters?
Actually, I have
Really kick again.
a fairly simple way of dealing with these situations. It is actually one word to deal with all those situations. And that is good. And this is actually something that one of my guys that worked for me pointed out to me. He would call me up or pull me aside with some major problem, some issue that was going on. And he'd say, boss, we got this and that, the other thing. And I'd look at him and I'd say, good. One day he was telling me about some issue that he was having. He said, I already know what you're going to say. And I said, well, what am I going to say? He said, you're going to say good. 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 You're going to say
Okay,
good.
body. We can do boxing.
You're going to say good. Good. That's what you always say. When something is wrong and going bad, you always just look at me and say good. Good. And I said, well, yeah. And I mean it. And that is how I feel when things are going bad. There's going to be some good that's going to come from it. Oh, mission got canceled? Good. We can focus on another one. Didn't get the new high-speed gear we wanted? Good. We can keep it simple. Didn't get promoted.
core.
Needed a break from training. Got tapped out? Good. It's better to tap in training
We're
than
gonna
to
do
tap out
high
on the
knees
street.
again.
Got beat? Good. You learned. Unexpected problems? Good. We have the opportunity to figure out a solution. That's it. When things are going bad. Don't get all bummed out. Don't get startled. Don't get frustrated. No. You just look at the issue and you say, good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. Good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good.
Full body breathing.
I don't mean to say something that's all cliche. I don't mean to sound like Mr. Positive. But do that. Focus on the good. Focus on the good. Take that issue, take that problem, take that issue, take that problem, make it something good. Make it something good. And bring that attitude to your team. Two. You go forward. You're gonna say good.
Legs.
You're gonna say good.
We're gonna do calf raises in the stance.
And lastly, like to close this out, if you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, go
Body.
attack.
We're gonna do push-ups.
That right there is about as good as it gets.
For core, what are we doing for core? We're gonna do unassisted sit-ups.
One of my kind of, I guess my mantra is a very simple one. Discipline equals freedom. Discipline equals freedom. Equals freedom. Equals freedom. Equals freedom. Equals freedom. Equals freedom. Equals discipline. Equals freedom. 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 The answer is discipline. You want more free time? Follow a more disciplined time management system. You want financial freedom? Implement long-term financial discipline in your life. Do you want to be physically free to move how you want?
Alright.
To be free
Probably some kickbacks in there.
caused by poor lifestyle choices? Then you have to have the discipline to eat healthy food and consistently work out. We all want freedom. Discipline is the only way to get it. Discipline equals freedom. Equals freedom. Equals freedom. Equals freedom. Equals freedom. Equals freedom. Equals discipline.
legs.
you and for others. Discipline
I'm gonna shoot for a takedown.
equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals discipline equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals freedom, equals discipline. So often, the easy path calls us to be weak for that moment, to break down another time, to give
Body.
in to desire and short-term gratification.
Do
Discipline
an arm drag.
allow that.
2 on 1 grip. Inside out.
Discipline calls for strength and fortitude and will. It won't accept weakness. It won't tolerate a breakdown in will. Discipline can seem like your worst enemy, but in reality, it is your best friend. It will take care of you like nothing else can, and it will put you on the path to strength and health and intelligence and happiness. Most important, discipline will put you on the path to freedom. Discipline equals freedom,
For
equals
core,
equals freedom,
we're gonna do a posture exercise from the wrestling stance. Put the lower back. Discipline. So that's for the lower back. Now we're gonna do free full body burpee.
You know, when people think of the word mind control, they think of controlling other people's minds. And when I think about mind control, I think about controlling your own mind. Because while I am obviously a physical person and I embrace physicality, we are our minds. What it means and where the you actually is and whether there's a soul or a brain or whatever, or your heart or some other conjured up place. This is what I know. Is that your mind, the thing that is listening and comprehending these words right now, that is you.
Upper body, push-ups.
That mind, you can control. You are the machine. Mind control. You are the machine. Mind control. And you can control the machine. Mind control. You have that
For the core,
mind control.
we're gonna do leg raises Again.
And people ask me, how do I get tougher? Be tougher. They ask me, how can I wake up earlier in the morning? The answer is, wake up earlier in the morning. How can I work out consistently every single day? Work out consistently every single day. How can I stop from eating sugar? Stop eating sugar. What about the emotions? How can I stop missing that girl or that guy or whoever broke up with me? How can I stop missing them? Stop missing them. That is mind control.
Let's see. We're gonna do
You have that ability. You just have to
scroll
decide it. You have to decide that you're
for the full body exercise. We're gonna do a leg lock entry. For the legs.
Laziness, they don't get a vote. Sadness, no vote. Frustration, no vote. Negativity, you don't get a vote. I don't even give my temper a vote. So the next time you're feeling weak, or you're feeling lazy, or you're feeling soft, or you're feeling emotional, tell them that they don't get a vote. Tell them you are declaring martial law on your mind. You're declaring mind control. And impose what you want on your brain.
For upper body.
Mind control.
We're gonna do lotus push-ups where you can cross your feet and lift up.
And you can control mind control. You have that ability. Mind control. And you're going to do what you want to do. Impose the discipline and the power and the positivity and the will. And use that mind control to move your life where you want it
And
to
all we're
be.
gonna do is twist so the heel hooks.
Get stronger, faster, smarter, quicker, friendlier, more helpful, more driven. Don't let your mind control you. Control your mind. And once you control your mind, then you can set it free.
Alright, that's it for the day. Listen to the song,
The shortcut. The hack.
listen to the song, cool down,
If you came here looking for
drink
happiness,
water,
you won't find it.
a protein shake.
The shortcut is a lie. The hack doesn't get you there. If you want to take the easy road, it won't take you to where you want to be. Stronger, harder, faster, healthier, better. Free. To reach
we'll end on that note. I'll see you tomorrow. I've been doing the relatively easy version of this workout, and I'm gonna start doing more difficult stuff that I used to do. I've been easing up so that I can focus on work, but I'm gonna start doing like one-hand push-ups and one-leg squats and more explosive stuff, clapping push-ups, and more jumping squats and exercises like this. So I gotta write it up because I have it in my notes from previous workouts. I've been kind of doing the streamlined version, and I'm gonna build up towards 90 minutes of yoga and then, you know, a whole long 90-minute workout. And then we'll get stronger, faster, and I'll see you there. See you tomorrow.